Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're taking a look at a theme loadout inspired by the Polish GROM that was suggested by Polish JW in my last loadout video. The JW GROM are the elite special forces unit of the Polish army, and even though they're still a relatively new face in the Tier 1 community, they've already gained a reputation as one of the best special forces units in the world. The GROM, which in English stands for Operational Maneuver Response Group, numbers around 448 members and specialises in counter-terrorism, hostage rescue and covert operations behind enemy lines. Gaining admission into this group is through a grueling training course and a back-breaking evaluation known as the Truth Test, which is designed to physically and psychologically eliminate the weakest candidates. Successful candidates go on to become GROM operators and receive further training in unconventional warfare, sniping, parachuting, and of course, CQB combat. The unit was officially activated in 1990 initially as JW 2305 and remained secret to the public until 1994 after they took part in Operation Uphold Democracy in Haiti. The GROM worked alongside US Army Special Forces to overthrow the military regime installed by the 1991 Haitian coup, forging a relationship with US Special Forces that is still strong today. Since then, the unit has taken part in a number of operations including the 2001 Afghan War and Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003. Today, the GROM works alongside a number of other Tier 1 forces from around the world, including the British SAS, German KSK, Canadian JDF2, and a number of units in the US Special Operations Command. Something that sets the GROM apart from many of these Tier 1 groups though is that in the 25 years since they were activated, they still claim to have never lost a member in an operation. It's said that the unit puts a higher emphasis on preserving life rather than taking it, with around 75% of GROM personnel trained as medics and a number of professional doctors embedded in each group. This isn't to say that the GROM is less effective as an aggressive combat force. In fact, they're highly trained in many different weapon systems and are among the best close combat operators in the world. The unit uses a number of weapons that are found in Battlefield 4, including the Mark 11 Mod 0, F2000 P90 FN57, the M249, M4, and most commonly the M416. Now, as for my loadout itself, well, in all fairness, I probably should have played with the M416 or the M4 because these are by far the most common assault rifles used by the GROM. The reason I chose the F2000 though was because the 416 and the M4 tend to be the standard weapons of many Special Forces units, and I've actually already done quite a few loadouts using these guns. The F2000 was trialled by the GROM as an alternative to the AR-15 style weapons already in service, and while it was never officially adopted by the GROM, it remains in service in small quantities with some GROM units. In my loadout though, I'm running the F2000 in a Special Forces style stealth CQB configuration with the US EOTech Holosight green laser, R2 suppressor and the vertical grip. As my secondary, I'm using the FN57 pistol with ghost ring and flashlight because unfortunately I didn't have the laser and suppressor unlocked to run it like Philippe suggested. And to round out this loadout, I'm also running a medic loadout with the med bag, defibs, flashbangs and the defensive perk, which I think is particularly relevant considering the emphasis the GROM puts on combat medics. So the question is, how does this loadout perform in game? Well, to be honest, I had to get used to running without the noob tube because, as most of you guys would know, I almost never run without it. I also had to get used to the F2000 again, which is one of my favourite assault rifles but doesn't necessarily fit with my personal playstyle all of the time. The two biggest drawbacks of the F2000 is that it's a bullpup weapon and therefore less accurate at long range, and that it has a fairly slow reload compared to my favourite AR, the M16A4. On the other hand though, the F2000 fires at a very decent 800 RPM, and it's a lot easier to control now that the visual recoil has been reduced in the recent fall patch. This is the sort of loadout where you want to get in close and personal with your enemy and make use of that extra bullpup hipfire accuracy. Unfortunately, point blank range also puts you at the mercy of AEKs, ACWRs, MTARs, the FAMAS, and just about all of the PDWs and shotguns. With this loadout, I'd highly recommend trying to find flanking routes rather than going head to head with enemies, even if you do have the firepower to outshoot most of the slower firing weapons in the game. Also, don't be afraid to use those flashbangs because since the fall patch, they're absolutely amazing and can literally let you walk into a room and take out 3 or 4 guys before they even know what's hit them. All in all, I'd say this is an exceptional loadout and I really enjoyed playing with it over the last few days. To be honest, I don't think I'd change anything, which is unusual because usually these Special Forces theme loadouts aren't as effective as they could be in game. The only thing I might consider to make this a bit more of an all-round loadout is maybe a stubby grip and flash hider instead of the vert grip and suppressor. The vert grip and suppressor combo does turn the F2000 into a beast of a flanking weapon, but considering it already has decent mobility and can hold its own in TQB, maybe trying to improve its mid-range accuracy might help it to be a bit more consistent in general. But anyway, that just about wraps it up, so let me know what you guys think of the F2000 in the comment section below, and as always, feel free to suggest a loadout for the next episode. Just remember though that this series is based around accurate military loadouts, so if you'd like to suggest something that's not accurate to the real world, head over and check out my Weapon of the Week series and suggest it there instead. As always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and if you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below. But until next time, see you later and have a good one.